think I owe the men of the world an apology. Let me explain before you come in my comments. I always think to myself, why don't men just approach women? Why? It's not that hard. Just say hi. Just say hi. Your hair is pretty. It's not that hard, right? Well, last night I learned it is hard, okay? And let me tell you what happened. So I'm just sitting at the bar with my buddies, just having a fun time, and in walks some men who were attractive. One in particular, I was like, wow, he's very handsome. So I'm chatting with my friends who are all male in this conversation. I'm like, what do I do? Because I don't really approach men ever, but I also don't ever get approached. So anyway, I'm thinking to myself, how bad could it be? So they suggest I send him a drink. And I'm like, brilliant. Oh my gosh, I've never done that before. That's so smart. So I send him his drink of choice, which was a Corona with lime. Whatever, should have known. Anyway, so some time goes by and he has not acknowledged that I've sent this drink. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just go over there. I walk up and I say, hey, how's your beer? You know, I like bat my eyelashes, you know, and he looks at me and he goes, oh, you sent this? Yeah, I did. It was me. And then he said nothing. 0 words exchanged. And you know that gif of Britney Spears where she's like holding her purse and she's just standing there looking around like this? That was me in real life. And we just stared at each other. And I said, okay, enjoy your night. And then I had to turn around and march my way back to my little bar stool, just wrapped in rejection. And now I have to think about that for the rest of my life. So, gentlemen, I'm sorry. That sucked.
At a certain point, words stop carrying the weight they once did. When someone has emotionally moved on, even an apology can arrive too late to change anything. The most telling response isn't always anger or rejection. Sometimes it's simple indifference.
And I understand why a lot of guys want to quit. They say it's not worth it anymore. They say they'd rather just give up. Because sure, you know, the current terms and conditions of modern dating are bizarre, to say the least. They suck. They definitely do. But if you ever want to make a change, you got to get really good at the game you're playing. You can't give up. You can't sit out. That's not the way it works. You got to rise to the top of the game. And once you're at the top, you can make changes. You know, you can choose to sit it out, but I think you should try to compete at a high level. I think that's always the best way to go. But yeah, I understand why a lot of guys want to sit it out. You know, it shouldn't have to be that way. When you're young and you're 18 years old and you just want to have a girl to love, get married, start a family with, you know, live in your small apartment while you're both working, grinding it out, you and her, broke as a joke, madly in love, you get married, she gets pregnant, you bust your ass, you get a promotion, you buy a house, the American dream. That's what people want, but that's not the current landscape for most people. You know, a good 90% of people aren't following that blueprint. So it's hard work, it's tough. It's not something that you can have a warm feeling about. You know, it doesn't give you a wholesome, good feeling. The modern dating game, it's corrupt, it's evil, too many games.
One of the simplest explanations for what's happening today is that the internet changed the way people relate to one another. Many conversations that once happened within relationships now happen through social media, influencers, and online communities. That shift has changed expectations in ways most people are still trying to understand. And those effects reach far beyond dating alone.
That is why women are single.
Why do you keep talking to money when you talk tradition?
Because I'm telling you that that's how I am as a woman. So if I'm with a man, like, I'd rather be at home with the children, taking care of the home.
Can you give me another
while
example?
you're outside.
Okay. Can you give me another example of tradition that is not based around finance?
That's tradition. The woman role and the man role. The man is the provider. The woman is the
it's not always
the one that cares for the home.
But it's not always based around finance. There's some traditional things.
I'm taking care of the children. I'm taking care of the house. That has nothing to do with finance.
So you don't believe that in today's world that you can maintain doing both?
I think that's unfair to the woman.
You're already doing it.
Correct. But if I have a man in my life,
so that absolves you of everything.
And that is why women are single. Because it's like they rather do it by themselves, just like a man rather do it by himself.
The message that you're putting out there is that this is tradition. This is how it should go. And no, how it should go is me and you come together as two independent people,
Correct.
and we figure out how to make this house work.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of people who would say, hey, you know what? You want to be a Fortune 500.
that is still more tradition. Like, that is a more traditional. If you go back, that's how it was. Women didn't have rights. Women couldn't work. Women couldn't do
But
shit.
you got 'em
Just
today.
Stay home.
No, but
That's what I mean when I say tradition, guys. Like, I mean, like, I'm talking about old age. I would have been better off in the old days, guys. Like, for real. Like, I would have been better off in the old days because I would have been a great mom at home, cooking, cleaning, and that's it. I would have been
Ooh.
good. Like, I would have been good, for
she
real.
threw me off.
That
Like,
gives-
I'm being honest. Like, I'm not for this time. Like,
Where's my camera again? Where's this one? This one. Fellas, like the fellas need to hear this. Fellas, I want you to know, and this is me. I'm your brother. I'm your brother. I want you to know. There are women out there that want to build with you, not build with tradition. I'm not speaking against her because what is good for her, what's good for you works for you. I want you to know that. I'm telling you, my brothers, who are now growing in this era where that is becoming a thing. And it sounds, what she's saying is, I don't think she's saying that she would not fall in love with the person, but the message could come across as that. I want you to know that there are women out there that will not put that standard on you and will actually take the time to get to know you and grow with you. And that has been my issue in trying to date. And having to decipher between the women who want that, who also want to take the time to get to know me before they even decide if they want to actually be with me.
Sometimes women describe dating as difficult, while unintentionally listing the very behaviors that contribute to the difficulty. Self-awareness can be uncomfortable because it requires women to examine their own role in the outcomes they're experiencing. That's true for everyone, not just one group. Growth usually begins where accountability starts.
I don't care what anyone says, and we can argue in the comments, but dating right now in 2024 is the hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. I could probably pass the bar exam right now, and it'll be easier than dating. And I'm so serious. Now, I'm not saying that everything in life has to be easy, because it shouldn't, right? That's life. Things are going to be hard. Things are going to be tough, but it shouldn't be this hard. Dating shouldn't be this hard. It just shouldn't be. And the fact that majority of us single people are all experiencing this hardship leads me to believe that something isn't right. There's something, it's just something that's off. I don't know what it is, but it shouldn't be this hard. And the fact that it is this hard and other people are complaining about it and struggling with it leads me to believe it can't be us. It has to be the thing. So the dating needs to change. Something about the dating has to change, because it just can't be it. I can't keep living like this. And I don't want to quit. But ooh, I'm so close. I'm this close to giving up. Like, do y'all see? That's how close I am to giving up. I'm finna throw the towel in for real.
The economic landscape looks very different than it did decades ago. Rising housing costs, inflation, and the realities of modern life have made it increasingly difficult for a single income to support a household in many places. As a result, both men and women are adapting their expectations. The old assumptions don't always match today's reality.
Hi, I'm in a shitty mood because I'm a 30-year-old trying to date and it's just painful. Did you eat something? Fucker. I'm feeling rather annoyed right now, and whenever I feel annoyed, I feel like I need to pop off on something, and that something is usually TikTok. So I feel like when it comes to dating, I've been very chill and calm when it comes to my old set of standards that I held for myself. I'm like, okay, I need what the fuck? I need really high standards. I have high standards, and I do. But I feel like with dating, I've kind of realized to calm down a little bit in certain areas where I've been so high and mighty and tight with certain things that you need to have. And I've been relaxed on that, and I'm still just not seeing or feeling how I feel like I'm supposed to be feeling. And it's just kind of upsetting, because I'm okay, not that I'm lowering my standards. I just feel like I'm opening up a little bit more and growing up, realizing that maybe certain things that I used to think were negatives are actually positives, and I don't know how to navigate it. I'm in this weird limbo of trying to grow, trying to learn, and you know when you make excuses for someone in your head and then you kind of calm yourself down And then you're like, do I need to be making those excuses? I'm just feeling defeated because it's really hard to like start over time and time again. And again, you know, when you open yourself emotionally up to dating, I don't know.
Social media has amplified expectations on every side of the dating market. Constant exposure to curated lifestyles, highlight reels, and idealized partners can make ordinary people seem less appealing than they really are. The result is often disappointment rather than satisfaction. Reality tends to be much healthier than fantasy. If the message hit, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.